The television has been the staple entertainment and information device for American households for the past 60 years. Since becoming mainstream in the early 1950s, television and broadcasting have advanced exponentially to provide a more immersive and memorable experience. As innovations continue, television will continue to play a vital role in entertainment and information consumption. However, before we can discuss the future of television, we must first examine the history of television and explore its evolutionary progress. In 1884, a German student by the name of Paul Gottlieb Nipkow developed a successful way of transmitting images through wires using a rotating metal disc that he named the Nipkow disc. 13 years later, in 1897, a German scientist named Carl Ferdinand Braun created the cathode ray tube. These inventions were instrumental in establishing the two paths of technology experimented with by researchers in the early developments of television, mechanical and electronic. The early 1900s brought about significant progress in both mechanical and electronic advancements. Scottish inventor John Logie Baird was the first individual to successfully transmit moving images over telephone wires, which Baird and many others used as a foundation for a broadcast medium. During the late 1920s, the future of television began to take shape as the advancement of an all-electronic television started to eclipse mechanical television. By the mid to late 1930s, several companies were commercially manufacturing electronic television sets. In 1939, RCA unveiled their all-electronic television at the New York World's Fair. With the start of World War II in September 1939, RCA continued to improve its technology and officially began to sell their television sets once the war concluded in 1945. Throughout the late 1940s, several companies experimented with adding color technology to television. Finally, after years of deterrence, RCA was able to get approval from the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, for their color television. In 1948, cable television was first introduced by John Walson of Mahanoy City, Pennsylvania. As the 1950s concluded, technology began to evolve and television entered what is described as the golden age of television. Prices of televisions began to decline, allowing more families to own them. New features were added such as wireless remote controls and enhanced picture quality. By the end of the decade, television had become the predominant form of home entertainment. The 1960s brought about some exciting innovations and milestones that forever changed television. One of the most iconic images ever to be shown on live TV was captured when the assassination of John F. Kennedy was broadcast. Epic performance by the Beatles and Elvis on the Ed Sullivan Show also boosted TV ratings. The 1960s ended on an incredible high for television. On July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11 successfully landed on the moon. A worldwide audience watched on live TV as Americans Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin successfully walked on the surface of the moon. An estimated 600 million people watched the historic landing. The 1970s began with the introduction of Public Broadcasting Service, PBS. Unlike traditional broadcasting companies, PBS is a nonprofit organization. The early 1970s also brought about the introduction of the video cassette recorder, VCR. Although it wasn't until several years later that the VCR market really took off, it was the first reliable method for recording live television. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier faced off for the heavyweight boxing championship of the world. The fight took place in the Philippines and was dubbed the Thriller in Manila, thanks in part to Ali's unique rhyming style when describing the event. The fight was broadcast around the globe by HBO. When the 1980s rolled around, the television industry as a whole had developed an established foundation for future success. Broadcasting had become stable, reliable, and more attainable than ever before, and television technology continued to advance with the FCC establishing new and improved standards. While the broadcasting standards were being established, television manufacturers continued to make strides and improve their products. In 1982, Dolby surround sound for home television sets was first introduced. By 1994, 99% of U.S. households had at least one TV. Cable and satellite providers took notice and started charging a premium for airtime. In 1995, a 30-second advertisement to air during Super Bowl surpassed $1 million for the first time ever. TV manufacturers competed to become the forerunner in the industry. With high-definition standards established and with the official U.S. public launch of the HDTV digital broadcasting system in 1998, several companies quickly realized that HDTV would be the future of television. The turn of the millennium ushered in the true digital age of television. Innovation has led to thinner and lighter televisions at a fraction of the size and cost of previous television sets. This progress has primarily been attributed to advancements in screen technology. Liquid crystal displays, LCDs, emerged as the most popular type of flat panel television. LCDs enable television manufacturers the ability to create efficient, quality, flat panel televisions that were affordable for most consumers. In fact, LCD televisions have made cathode ray tube TVs virtually obsolete. Although still niche products, 3D TVs and smart TVs have started to gain a foothold in the current television market. Television manufacturers are trying to bring the success of big screen 3D home to the little screen. Unfortunately, high prices and limited 3D viewing content has restricted 3D TV's growth potential. Smart TVs have the ability to operate dually between traditional broadcasting and internet-based content. However, smart TVs are also expensive, and the lack of a seamless integration of services combined with the complicated UIs have greatly hampered their progress in the market. During the current information age, television has remained relevant with the assistance of other media devices. Present-day digital video recorders, DVRs, allow a person to record a program and view it later without the use of a DVD or VHS cassette. Roku, Boxee, and Apple TV are hardware devices that transform any television into a smart TV. Apple TV is a connected media device that allows a viewer access to other Apple-related accounts like iTunes and also enables the streaming of content via internet. Companies like Netflix and Hulu have software that offers a huge selection of movies and TV shows on demand via video streaming. With only a few certainties, the future of television seems to wind down an endless road of possibilities. Given the current dramatic push toward multipurpose connected devices, future televisions will definitely be enhanced to utilize the internet's resources. Web browsing, email, personal calendars, and up-to-date weather will all be accessible via television. Downloadable applications and expanded account integration will also grant consumers access to limitless information, media, and entertainment. Some companies have explored the idea of making televisions with full touchscreen capabilities, while other companies, including Samsung and Microsoft, via Kinect, have chosen to venture down the motion-based controls path. A third option that some companies, specifically Apple, are rumored to be experimenting with is voice control. It will be interesting to see which method eventually dominates the market, or if it will be a combination of all three that proves to be the best option. Television hardware will continue to evolve with the inclusion of superior screens. On October 18, 2012, the Consumer Electronics Association named the next generation of television displays as Ultra HD. These Ultra HD televisions have already gone on sale in the US, with LG releasing an 84-inch model for $20,000 last month and Sony releasing an 84-inch model for $25,000 soon after. Trying to predict the future of television is a difficult task to undertake. With innovative technology being developed at breakneck speeds, it's hard to envision a future with seemingly infinite possibilities. Given the history and evolution of television, though, one consideration seems to be all but certain. Although certain individuals will have a greater influence on the future of television than others, inevitably, it will be a collaborative effort from many people who come from diverse backgrounds with different experiences and unique ideas that shape and create the future of television.